After hearing the parties in the matter, I dismiss the petitioner's claim. The petitioners have made an informal application for conservatory orders pending appeal. Under Article 23, this court is entitled to issue conservatory orders of any kind, including conservatory orders pending appeal, as this is a necessary incident of its jurisdiction to protect fundamental rights and freedoms. I am thus satisfied that I have jurisdiction to grant appropriate orders pending appeal. I have considered the arguments of all the counsel before me, and I take the following view of the matter. The petitioner's case was that the digital migration should not take place, as they were entitled to broadcast signal distribution license, and their rights were violated due to the implementation of the switch-off date. In the event the digital migration succeeds by implementing the switch-off date, a successful appeal would only mean that A, the petitioners would be entitled to a BSD license, and B, they'll be entitled to broadcast in an analog format. In my view, therefore, the appeal would not be rendered nugatory. The petitioner's own evidence is clear that they have been able to broadcast their content via digital broadcast throughout the simulcast period, and are able to do so if required. The 65th meeting of the DCC, which I cannot ignore, is that they were ready and able to, they were ready for the switch off. If the consumers are kept in a blackout, it is only because the petitioners wish them to live in a blackout. Digital migration is not about the petitioners alone. As the respondents and the second interested parties have pointed out, the court needs to balance the interests of all the parties, bearing in mind that the digital migration process has been in place since 2006. The policy and implementation have been by consensus, and the switch of the date was agreed with the petitioners' participation. In summary, the hardship to the petitioners and their business is far outweighed by the hardship imposed on the body politic by issuing any further conservatory orders in light of the history and development in the matter. Granting the order sought would negate the very commitment the petitioners made in the implementation process, as evidenced by the minutes of the consensus reached at the 65th DTC meeting. In the circumstances, the application for conservatory orders is dismissed.
And there are certain areas in which we are quite unhappy, because it is going to be freedom of broadcasting in terms of Article 34, sub-Article 3. The no broadcasting house should be forced to have their contents carried by another person whatsoever. And the three petitioners have been carrying their contents. You know, they've been developing the contents and carrying their contents to their viewers in analog. And what they have repeatedly said is that they are not opposed whatsoever to going digital. But let them have digital frequencies and digital licenses so that they can develop their own contents and carry their own content to their viewers. But to force the three major media houses to be confined to developing content and then hand over their contents to the two foreign companies, the Chinese and the South Africans, to be the ones with the monopoly of carrying the content, that is where we are saying clearly the freedom of broadcasting then begins to become very meaningless indeed. And the contents are to be carried at prices dictated to the media houses by the Chinese company. So we will be going to the Court of Appeal. Fortunately, we do not need leave of anyone to go to the Court of Appeal. And this being a constitutional issue, interpretation, the way is open for appeals all the way to the Supreme Court. But you are filing this afternoon. Thank you. Yes.